Every day I'm shuffling.
What's he
You're
doing?
very, very stupid for that. I'm serious.
Guys. So, I mean, first of all, I'm glad we can do a video episode, and you guys should thank Sean for putting in the work.
Shout out my nigga Mosby.
Yeah, shout out Mosby. Mosby hooked us up with his lights. But yeah, I remain YG, and
I'm Sean.
the boss. Buff guy Sean. Don't be
know
let
what
them
it
know the
is.
ministry. The buff guy ministry. How have you been, brotherly? How have you been? It's been how many weeks since we recorded our audio?
Audio, video.
Audio.
It's a little over 2 weeks.
Uh,
Yeah, but I mean, we were doing one, but like it just made sense to meet physically now that restrictions have been
lifted a bit.
Yeah.
Mad. And we recorded video last maybe
Is that March or February?
Yeah, it feels like March.
Yeah, I think it was March, man.
Like maybe the last week of March.
It's crazy.
So April, May, now June. Mad, but I mean, we are excited to so you guys can see our face. I mean, we have fine boy show here and fine boy YG.
You know what it is.
But guys, it's not. I don't know. We've been laughing too much because not a lot. There's not been a lot to essentially laugh about. Like going around in the world right now. There's so much hostility, so much bad news. Yeah, there's a lot to be angry about. Basically, there's a lot to be angry about, and should we just get straight into this? Don't let us. No, there's no need to waste time. So, the first thing I think we should address or just try to touch on is let's start from the racism, cases of racism, the recent cases of racism, because I mean it's.
I think it would be nice to talk about what is happening here in Nigeria.
Then segue into America.
Segue into America.
Okay, I wanted us to start with this, touch on it a little, then now build our house on but that's that. I mean, yeah, we can do this. So, but yeah, we can start with Nigeria. So, which of the?
Let's go how you wanted to go with it.
Okay. So my thinking, I mean, it's not really. I won't necessarily say I feel I understand completely what's because I've not experienced it. I don't think I've ever experienced any form of racism, to be honest.
Okay.
Because of my color, I don't think I have. I'm yet to. Do you understand? So I can't. I don't fully know how it feels, but I understand that you shouldn't look at any human being as less than you just because of you fucking got a white. I'm sorry, a whatever. I don't know what they call that color shot, but you shouldn't just be looking down on people because of the color of their skin, and then going as far as killings, the police killings, police brutality. They've been repeated themes in the history of America, and at this point it almost feels is the normal way of life. Do you understand? So, and it's very disturbing to see. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, of course, I'm on board with you. Racism. I mean, we understand where the roots are, but it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's not something that in this day and age we should still be talking about. I mean, there are deaths in forefront that people are talking about and everything, but there are lots more people that go unreported. It keeps happening. A lot of people that just keep dying, and it's just it's all for what? It makes no sense. I feel we should we should figure out all these things and we should do better generally, man. That's my stand on it.
Yeah, we should. And I'm trying not to talk too much about America because, like I said, it's not, or like we rightly said, it's not really it's not in our faces because we have our own issues right here that it's more in our faces. But I mean, for I don't think like someone like Donald Trump being the president of America right now has really helped like their their fight against it, because he's not necessarily. I'm not going to flat out say he's a racist, but he's, what's the word now? He's quite, he never like on in public like places, you will never like hear him say stuff explicitly. He's always trying to beat around the bush, like not trying to necessarily say, be on the racist side, but at the same time he's implying things that like tends towards like that. Do you understand? So
Yeah, I get
I
it.
feel like him being their president, like as over the past few years, like 4 years now, 3 years, I'm not sure when he got in. Like doesn't really helped like the course of this fight. Basically, I feel like there was a bit of and let me say, rise in like
When it
progress
was
when Obama was there,
okay.
and I think it only makes sense because he was a black person. So, but I mean, I don't even know, man. Peace, America. That's all, man. And they should stop killing people. That was my own first. Like, they should just stop killing people that, like, literally are not doing anything. Like, they're literally not doing anything. They're just existing, just trying to go about their daily lives and just come and. There was this one I saw that time, like, one guy that was just in his car, and then police guy started questioning him from one thing to another. Like, he just spot the guy, like gave him like three shots. So it's very tough to watch, and my heart goes out to every black person in America. Peace be with you at this time, I guess. So shall we give us the next lineup?
I think the most important, or like something that we should really touch on, especially because it's something that's happened a lot in our society, is rape. And I remember being in a protest last year, same time, like
Understand?
around this time, like May 2019, and then it was police. There was a raid on women in nightclubs, and they just assumed that they were sex workers and decided that the right course of action was to molest and rape these women, and like it made no sense. In as much as they didn't agree with the things that they were doing, at least they should charge them with their crimes and then go through due process and whatever repercussion they need to face, they should allow they should allow the courts. Like, they're not bigger than the law. I mean, they're put there to enforce the law and everything, but they should be fair. Like, imagine one of the policemen's daughters was there. Like, how would he feel like if they had molested them and then it was something they protested about? I was able to put out a video, but like it did me a certain way when like literally
Just kill the fly when they disturb us, guys.
literally we protested the exact same time the previous year, and like those kind of things are still rampant in our society. So those are things we need to constantly speak up against. And like, and I really don't know, like even on my way home today, like I was listening to radio, and like I was just hearing different people's experiences, and it's not.
That was women, right? Or both sexes?
I mean, we're currently focused on women. I mean, I heard a couple of male stories, but like the majority
Yeah, women, definitely.
were women. And I'm happy that the fight is like what we're taking up the fight. We're trying to take it as serious as possible. Yeah, but we need to constantly speak up. Try to fight for the people, not victim blame, not tell them the people that cause these things are rapists. So they should be blamed, they should be sanctioned. That's pretty much how I feel about it. Do you have anything to say, YJ?
Yeah, man. Like, first, I feel like this is not the time for. Okay, yes, this for like every guy, every guy out there. Like, this is not the time for you to, no matter how seemingly clean you think you are or good you think you are. Like, this is not the time to propagate or be pushing not all men like agendas. Like, yeah, like you might be correct that not all men in like literally Like it might be correct literally, but I don't think like this anybody's doing this just to correct English. Like it's not about you as a person, it's about what the system like is. So the first thing I think everybody as especially guys, this is not a time, and even for like I've seen women always talk about like and there are great guys out there, all those type of things. Yes, there are great guys out there, blah blah blah. But this is not the time. Like this is not the time to be pushing those kind of like messages. Like keep it to yourself. Like just keep it to yourself. That's the first thing. Then second thing on my mind is, I mean, it's becoming painful to. In fact, it has always been painful, but it's becoming more painful. Like every time, like it happens, like it just adds another layer of pain and anguish in my mind, because I mean, it's crazy. Anyways, it's becoming too. Like I feel like all our, I'll say, I won't call it social media activism, but I mean social media activism right now in today's age plays a big role in like effecting any change. I agree, but like the match you went for last year, like I think we need to do stuff like that more on a large scale.
I agree completely.
Yeah, do you understand that we are relying too much on social media, and social media is not, how will I put it now? Yes, it's definitely going to like cause like start a conversation.
It will definitely affect change.
Yes, it will affect change, but man, we need to get our legs out there and
I mean,
properly.
It's kind of difficult to do. Considering the type of society we're in.
Yeah.
You know, when this guy, they've protested in all the states in the US, if I'm not mistaken, and even Trump has threatened bringing out the army at some point. But in Nigeria, because of how evolved they are in those societies, they can practice a good amount of restraint because they just evolved.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, they will fuck you up. They will but I feel like this is a cause that we can die for, and the future generation would thank us for it. But are we prepared to take that jump? That's
one. Me personally, I will answer that question. When I think about it, no, I'm not. Now I'll be honest with you. But at some point, like I feel like I might be pushed, like to just this is no longer about just you now. Do you understand?
Of course. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and my answer would be no, because I feel like we wouldn't be able to get the number that we need. That's what my problem is. If it was from a, if we actually did have that solidarity and that unity, and then I saw people were actually serious about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong. People might actually turn up for it, but from the way I perceive it, some people will say they're going to do this, and then at the first uncomfortable situation, they will turn back.
Yeah.
If we've all agreed that this is what the fuck that we're going to do, this is kind of change that we're trying to effect, and we're ready to make sacrifices. If we're all on the same page, then I fuck with that.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing is like which I think is kind of like it complements what you just said about like actually like the solidarity we need in large numbers. Like it also, you can also look, I feel like you can also look at it from the aspect of like if you can actually get, let me say, some prominent people that like will actually actively like take a stand. Because yes, I understand what you said about Nigeria being quite reckless. Like you saw that thing, shout out Issa said on the group chat about how they raided Fela's mom's house or something like that, and they threw her like out of the window. Yeah, they killed her basically. So like yes, Nigerians can be, or Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, military, whatever, democracy, they can be that reckless, but I feel like if some kind of individuals, like if some kind of individuals are taking like a stand, physical stand, and actually come out, and with what we have as the internet right now,
Yeah.
like their actions will be a lot more like guided, not because they are logical, but because they know the implications of like how far these things could go. So imagine maybe someone like, and I'm just giving this as an instance, imagine someone like a Genevieve leading a match now. Just imagine it. Imagine someone like a Genevieve leading a match, and like there is a lot of press like covering the scenes and all of those type of things. Nigga, they can't do shit. I promise you.
Here's what I will say about that. Ideally, it sounds like something that would work. But even, I mean, I know like it seems like the next thing I will say is discouraging, but we also have to consider how the country, what type of country we live in, which is there's not a lot of solidarity. For being honest, I think that's where the number one problem is
actually.
There's not a lot of solidarity, and funny enough, these people, granted, like they might not be taking the action the way you're describing it right now, but like we should cut them some.
No, I'm not demanding that. Yeah, I'm not demanding
Fair play to that. Also, man, yeah, we don't live in a very ideal is not the word, but like our society is not as evolved.
Yeah,
and that's a big part of the problem. Like they could hold the pressmen, like that's not something new. Like they would just manufacture charges to hold them on, and but like I said, the number one thing is solidarity, and it doesn't seem like that's something that's there. Yeah, man. I feel like we've touched on that. Also, I'm apologetic because we didn't talk about the people specifically that have been through this thing and caused the
recent
stirred the conversation up a lot. In case you're not aware, I think Uwa, a student of the University of Benin, right?
Yeah, Uwa, that's her name.
Yes, she was raped by 11 men in a church. It was horrific.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know how, like, I don't know how to even describe how I was feeling when I heard the news.
Yeah.
Also, Tina was killed as well.
Yeah, she was a minor.
These are things that are happening constantly. They're very saddening. Repeat again, rape is caused by rapists, and please don't be rape apologists. Try to get new information. Try to unlearn the old things that you know already and become a better person if you're involved in that way. And even if you're not, try to get the right information. Think of ways to help people in situations like that, and just talk through with people you know about stuff like this.
I'm just, because do you know what I'm thinking about? Like, I'm thinking about what it means to have two of us like this now. Imagine having 9 other people like us that are thinking, like, that are not thinking correct, like in one particular place. 11 men that are not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, at least there was not one single person could even like try to say, guys, what are you guys doing? You get a kind of thing.
It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like we've touched on this topic to a good extent, and this will be
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest. Oh my God.
And
Tina.